Hi, welcome back to my channel According to Kat. If you are new here, please introduce yourself in the comments below. If you're returning, just say hi. And what are we making today? Well, today we are making home decor pieces on a budget using Dollar Tree and other really affordable products. If you'd like to know what supplies I've used, make sure you check out the description box and I'll have them all listed down there for you. And with all that being said, let's get right into the video. Starting off with DIY number 1. So the first thing I did was I took these canvases. They're 8x10s. They're from the Dollar Tree. And I am just taking off the film. And I'm going to take my Waverly chalk paint in mineral. And I'm going to give these a good coat. Now this mineral color is kind of like a gray khaki. I love this color. I find it to be a great neutral. But I will tell you, for some reason, I find it a bit thinner than the other chalk paint colors. I'm not quite sure why, but I always find myself needing at least 2 coats. Now I'm taking these stir sticks that I got off of Amazon. I got like 100 in a pack for a really good deal, and I love to use them to frame out my artwork. I will leave the link of them below because I do like that they are not tapered and they are all straight. So perfect for using as a frame. So I'm just using some, what would you call that? Like branch cutters, and that's what I'm using to cut these. I'm just measuring that they will fit my sides, and then I'm taking my Waverly Antique Wax and I'm going to give them a good coat. Once I coat them all, I will go back with a paper towel and just wipe off any excess, and then I'll put them to the side to dry. Moving on, I am taking my Target Dollar Spot stickers. I got these last year, and this little set says naughty, nice, check it twice or something like that, but I'm only using the naughty and nice. I was struggling a lot to get these letters off, and at first I was like, oh, why did they separate the letters? So it's like NI and then CE. I couldn't even get off the double letters. You could see here I was struggling a bit. I was trying not to rip them, so I went very carefully. This is another way to make artwork without using your like a cutting machine like a Cricut, without stenciling. It's just another way. So don't ever overlook those holiday stickers that you see at Dollar Tree or Target or Walmart, things like that. I'm putting the nice right here on one of the canvases. I really thought the khaki color of the mineral would look great with this hunter green in both the naughty and nice wording. And I'm using this Dollar Tree square to help me keep my letters straight. I'm just lining it right there up at the bottom. And again, I struggled getting these letters off without ripping them. Once I have them on, I just made sure they were smooth, and then I took my stir sticks that have dried, and I'm just going to hot glue them around the outside. The hot glue worked fine for me, but you could always use some stronger glue that you can either find at any of your hobby stores or Dollar Tree. And now I'm just working along the sides and making sure they fit there, lining those up, and now I'm working on the nice wall art. Now, I was going to stop here. I really liked the way this looked, but I kind of feel like I was missing something. And the next thing that I'm going to do, I really wish I would have done before I put on the frame. It would have made it a lot easier, but I didn't know I was going to do it. So what I did was I took this green checkered ribbon and I made a simple bow, just like you would tie your shoes. I made 2 of them, and I thought I was going to put them on the outside of the word, and then I didn't like that. So I decided to make it look more like a present, and then I was going to take that green checkered ribbon and I was going to make a line and then put the bow on that line. Right here I'm just using these popsicle sticks to keep my line straight, and yeah, that worked out fine. So I'm going to just pull that up, put down this ribbon, but do you see what I mean? How it would have been so much easier to just kind of tuck it around the back, and so that I wouldn't have to cut it off to the exact size of the frame. It just would have been easier if I did it before I did the wooden outer parts of the frame. And you can see I'm just going to put a little more hot glue right there on the edges to keep that down. And then I'll take that little bow and just hot glue it right there. And I really love how these turned out. I hope you do too.
Angels we have heard on high, sweetly singing o'er the plains, and the mountains in reply, echoing their joyous strains. Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Next up, DIY number 2. But first, let me tell you about today's challenge. It is the Craft It 3 Ways series, Christmas edition. So today I am bringing you Christmas wall art in 3 different ways. And I am being joined by 3 of my really good creator friends here on YouTube. Lisa from Lisa & Company, Casey from Coffee with My Sunshine, and Leanie from Crafty Leanie. They are such good friends of mine, so I'm so excited to be joined by them in this really fun challenge. If you're not aware of what this challenge is, basically you're taking one item or one theme and you are making it in 3 ways. So you can do burlap in 3 ways or plaid in 3 ways. I'm doing Christmas wall art in 3 ways. So if you check out the description box below, I will leave the playlist in there, also in the comment section. And that way, if you would like some more Christmas inspiration, you could go check out my creator friends' channels and see what they are making. And if you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Kat, and I love to make decor on a budget. I love using Dollar Tree and thrift store products, anything I can find that's budget friendly, and I just love to DIY. So if you would like to get alerts on when I am putting out videos, make sure you subscribe down below and just hit that little bell and you'll get alerted every time I upload a new video. And if you're liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Now back to the DIYs. Okay, so the first thing I did was I took this Waverly chalk paint in Elephant, which is a very dark gray, and I'm coating it onto this wooden board. I got this from Amazon in a pack of, I want to say 10. It is 12 by 12, and I really like them to make wall art on, and it's really affordable. So I will leave a link to that below as well. I did paint the back, sort of. You can see I didn't do that good a job, but that was just, in case someone flipped it around, it, wasn't messy. Okay, then I used my Cricut and I wrote out GNOME for the holidays minus the O in GNOME. Now it's white on white, so it'd be really hard for you to see, but that's what it says. You can see the ME and the GN here. And I am going to use this little wooden piece to help me keep my letters straight. Now I'm very lightly putting those on there because I'm trying to see if it is lined up correctly, and you can see here, looks good. So I will be using my Cricut scraper to make sure these letters have adhered well to the wooden backing, and they look like they did, but you can see here, if they're not, just make sure you just go right over those areas as you're pulling up and push those right back down, and they'll go right down. It's fine. And then I save my transfer tape because you can use them a few times, and why waste it? So you can see here I'm just lining it up one last time, and I'm just kind of going over the letters, and this came off without a problem. And I will put the transfer tape back on the backing, and this is where I did home for the holidays, or for the holidays. And you can see down there I changed my font a little bit, and I just really liked how that looked. And I'm going to line it right here up at the bottom. I want to pull it down a little bit because I know the gnome beard will hang down a bit, so I wanted to give that enough room. Again, using my scraper, and then anything that's not coming off as well as I'd like. I'll just go right back over it, but that came off pretty nicely. I'm taking my Dollar Tree sanding sponge. I'm going to go right around the edging and just scuff this up a bit. I don't really think it made that much of a difference. You don't really need to do that. But now I'm deciding what I want to use as the beard. So I'm using a Dollar Tree rope. This is their nautical rope that they had out this summer. And I really like it, especially to use as a beard. Now I'm just taking some, I think it was actually a paper bag that I cut up, and I just cut up 2 little strips, and I am making sure I have a strip for the front and a strip for the back, and that's just going to hold all of this rope in place so that it's easier to glue onto my sign. Now, if you do not have a cutting machine like a Cricut or anything, that's okay. Dollar Tree does sell sticker letters. You can use, you can handwrite it, use a paint marker, you can use stencils, but I do use the Dollar Tree poster letters a lot, and that would work out well for this too, because they do have the bigger, thicker letters and they have the smaller letters. Also, wooden letters you could get off of Amazon, but I use my Cricut because I had it for this one. Right now I am just sandwiching the beard between the 2 pieces of paper bag, and then I'm just hot gluing that in there, and then I will just kind of squeeze the edges and round those out. So at first I was going to like separate all that beard with my fingers, but it really wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to just shape it into a beard, and I noticed it just wasn't pulling apart like I wanted. So I found an old brush that was my daughter's, which has lost some bristles. So it was a wet brush, so I know that it will not be too harsh. And you can see I'm using that to separate all of those strands. And that helped me cut it more into a beard shape a little better. And now, after I cut this like 5 times, and brush it 5 times, I am taking this felt. Now, this felt was about $6 or $7 on clearance. I got it like 2 or 3 years ago from Target, actually. And it was right in the craft section of Target, and I saw it in there, and I just thought it was a good deal. And I am freehanding a little gnome hat, and as you can see, it was way too big. I could not fit that on there, so I just recut it and did the best I could. If you want to find something online to trace, you could, but I freehanded it, or I should just say free cutted it. And I am putting a little hot glue down on my wooden picture, and I will just lay that beard form that beard down, and then I am taking some raw beads. I really wanted the raw look just because I thought that would look good for the gnome's nose, and a little hot glue. I am putting it right there in the middle, and then what I'm going to do is put a little hot glue on either side of that bead just so I can cover up those holes. So I'll take those little beard strands and kind of pull it up around the nose, so that I can cover up the little bead holes. Now I'm going to put some hot glue right up across the top of the head, right around the nose there, and you can see I am pressing his hat right around that so that it looks like his nose is coming out from the bottom of the hat, and then I kind of just pressed it around right across the top. Now I'm going right around the rim of the hat, and that will keep the hat down. I did think about putting something in there to make it puff out a bit. I did not, but you can if you would like the hat to pull out a little more, but I didn't, and I really liked the way this looked. Now I'm just taking some greenery, 2 sprigs, and I'm going to put that right there on the hat. I really liked the way that looked. And then I'm going to take some Dollar Tree pine cones, the mini pine cones that have the frosting on them, and I will just put those 2 pine cones right there with that greenery. I thought I was done, but then I realized I would like a little white pom-pom at the top. This is from the Dollar Tree as well, and I put it right there at the end of the hat. And this is done. I hope you like it as much as I do.
Well, I've got news for you. I know you're waiting. Christmas is right here. Well, I've got news for you. I know you're waiting. Christmas is right here. Hold on, it's time for it to reappear. Well, all around me I hear children singing.
Next up, DIY number 3. So the first thing I did was I took this Dollar Tree cutting board. It is in the kitchen section of the Dollar Tree, and it is like a plastic cutting board. Then I took these Dollar General window clings that I got for $1 last Christmas, and I was just going to use 3 of these pieces. I love these trees with these forest animals on it. I think it's a fox and a deer. And then I decided I wanted to use the Farm Fresh Christmas trees logo right here at the top. I'm kind of playing around with the formation and which way I want to lay everything out, and then I decide I liked it better the first way. And you can see I'm just lining this all up before I start in with my Mod Podge. Just note this is the matte Mod Podge. So what I did here was I started out with a thin layer. Actually, it wasn't that thin. It looks kind of thick. It is a thick layer right here at the bottom. And I am just going to lay these 2 window clings right here. And you actually have a few minutes to move them around because they actually slid very nicely with that Mod Podge underneath. Once I got them where I wanted them, I went on top of it with another layer. Now you kind of have to hold them in place because they were sliding around a bit, but after a minute or so it does get tacky and then it will stay in place. Now I'm going to take the sign part that says Farm Fresh Christmas Trees, and I moved that so I can put some Mod Podge down at the top, and then I'm going to lay this on top, and then I will put a little more Mod Podge layer over that. Kind of went around the whole thing, and the reason I do that is so that the texture doesn't look different. So Mod Podge can change the texture, or it can change like how shiny something is. So that's why whenever I use it, I kind of go over the entire piece. Now I am taking this greenery, which I got last Christmas at Michael's. I know it said $30, but it was the Black Friday sale. So I got it for about $9 with 70% off, so that was a really good deal. And I love buying greenery in a garland. You get so much more and it takes you a lot farther. So what I've done now is I'm just kind of separating it into little bundles and using some Dollar Tree twine, tying that around, and that's just going to be easier for me to glue down and handle. I didn't use all of the greenery pieces, but just the bundles I was going to use to either side, kind of to make like a swag at the top of this. I'm using quite a bit of hot glue right there, nice little puddle. I'll put that down. I hold it there for a second for it to dry, and now I'm deciding if I actually do. No, forget it. I wasn't deciding. I realized I needed a little more on either side, so I took 2 more pieces and put that on. Next up, I'm going to be making a bow. I really love this bow. I've had this ribbon for a while. I should say I love this ribbon. And I love like the little greenery sprigs on it, and I just love the natural look of it. So once I lay that down, I realize that I can see the center of the swag a little more than I want to. So I'm going to put another piece of greenery right there in the middle just to hide that a bit. You can see here I pulled up the bow first. I'm going to take off the end of this a little bit, and then I'll hot glue that down. And that way you won't see any of that twine that I used to make those sections. Now I'm hot gluing that bow right there at the top. I made a simple bow just like you would tie your shoes. And then I decided to put some mini pine cones right there at the top from the Dollar Tree. I do believe I put 3 down. Yes, you can see here. That would be 2, and there's my 3rd. And this is done. I hope you like this as much as I do.
Last year I thought about how things can come around just like that if everyone is here to celebrate one day. We have our ups and downs, but when there's love there's always a way. And oh, this time of year we come together to celebrate. Yes, every time the snow is falling down and it is cold outside, we gather around.
And here we are at the final reveal, my favorite part of the video because we get to recap everything we just made. So the first thing we made were the naughty and nice wall art pieces. I love this one. I just think they had a really traditional look to them, and I definitely love that hunter green color. Next up, GNOME for the holidays. This wall art piece, I love it. I just love how whimsical it is, and it's really fun for the holidays. Last up, we have the Farm Fresh Christmas trees cutting board. This is so rustic, and you know I always love pieces like this. Love that as well. So can you guess which of these Christmas DIYs is my favorite? I'm gonna go with the GNOME for the holidays. It is so fun, it is so festive and so cute, but I also have to go with the Farm Fresh Christmas trees. You know I always love my rustic decor, and this is no different. Tell me in the comments below which one of these DIYs is your favorite, and are there any of them that you might be making this holiday season? And don't forget to check out my creator friends in the playlist below. Thanks guys! So that's it, that's the end of my video. I hope you liked everything you saw here today, and I hope it inspires you to make something of your own. If you have not checked me out at Instagram over at Cat Luna Designs, please do so. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love if you did. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye! And what are we making today? Well, today we are making more home decor pieces on a budget using Dollar Tree and other really affordable products. I would love if you did. No, I don't want to say that. And if you haven't subscribed, I would love if you did. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye! Why am I looking to